Amazon's Jack Reacher TV show will adapt one book every season. Heroic nomad Jack Reacher will soon return to screens in Amazon's upcoming series, and this time the character will look a lot more like fans of Lee Child's books expect. Alan Ritchson will play the iconic literary character in the Jack Reacher TV show, with the actor now revealing the approach that is being taken with adapting the long-running franchise. I don't know how much I can say. I'll say that we're going to be doing a book a season, so the first season will be the first book. I think that's such a great way to do this. I can see why it'd be exciting as a film, but the slow burn is what I love so much about the books. The way that he goes down the checklist and picks apart these cases, you need time. It's okay to enjoy that. I think spending a season on each book is going to be really enjoyable for audiences. While Alan Ritchson was not able to give too much away, the idea of doing a book a season is a solid one and should give the show enough time to properly unpack each story and all the complex plotting and slow burns within. It also sounds like Jack Reacher will start with the first book, 1997's Killing Floor, and go from there, adapting each book in turn, which should give Ritchson the opportunity to build the character organically. Cast in September last year, Ritchson is a great choice for Reacher and comes very close to matching the character's physical attributes. Certainly a lot closer than some previous iterations. The actor, though, has now provided some details on the casting process, revealing that he did not initially win the part. It's funny, I actually didn't get the role at first. I'm not exactly 6'5" and I'm not exactly 250, and I had heard that they were being very specific with their physical demands. After working with Tom Cruise and a lot of fans being upset that he didn't really have the physicality as great as he was in the role, they really wanted to get that right, Ritchson said. The actor was convinced that the studio would go with someone like Dwayne Johnson, saying his take on it was a little different than what they had in mind at the time. Eventually, though they came back around to Ritchson, there was a shake-up with who was casting, so they started again from scratch, and I'd already been passed on, as had everybody who did an audition. But when they came back around, they picked a few tapes that they'd seen already, and I was one of them, so they wanted me to come back and try again, and it worked out. The closer I got to that, the more familiar I became with the Reacher stuff. Ritchson is clearly ready to put his all into the role of Jack Reacher for Amazon Prime, saying, "I've really fallen in love. I've read the books now, and Reacher has some big shoes to fill, metaphorically speaking. I'm just so thrilled to be a part of it. It's my favorite character that I've played yet." Amazon's Jack Reacher will be based on the popular book franchise by British author Lee Child, which follows the titular character, a former US Army major who doles out vigilante justice in his escapades across the United States and Europe. This comes to us from Collider. In 2022, Amazon Prime made a bold move by launching Reacher, a TV series that adapts the beloved Jack Reacher novels by Lee Child. From the outset, the show drew attention not just for its action-packed sequences and faithful character portrayals, but for its unique approach to storytelling, adapting one book per season. This decision marks a significant departure from other book-to-screen adaptations, which often cram multiple books into a single season or take liberties with the source material for the sake of faster-paced storytelling. But with Reacher, Amazon has taken a slower, more methodical route, one that allows the plot, characters, and themes of each novel to fully breathe. The first season of Reacher followed Killing Floor, Lee Child's debut novel from 1997, and it was a massive success. The series, led by actor Alan Ritchson as the titular character, was praised for its faithfulness to the original text, its action sequences, and the performance of its leading man, who embodied Reacher's towering physical presence and stoic demeanor. For fans of the novels, the show felt like a long-awaited gift. For those new to the franchise, it was an exciting entry point into the world of Jack Reacher, a drifter and ex-military police officer who finds himself entangled in solving dangerous mysteries wherever he goes. But why is adapting one book per season such a good idea, and what does it mean for the future of the series? The power of faithfulness, the decision to adapt one book per season is an inspired one, primarily because it honors the structure and pacing of Lee Child's novels. Each book in the series stands alone, with Reacher traveling to a new town and getting involved in a fresh mystery. This structure lends itself perfectly to television, where each season can have its own contained narrative arc. The danger in many TV adaptations is that they often rush through source material or combine multiple books into a single season, which can dilute the storytelling or confuse the audience. By sticking to one book per season, Reacher allows the plot of each novel to unfold naturally and immerses viewers in the same slow burn tension that readers experience. Furthermore, by not condensing multiple books into a single season, the show gives itself room to explore the nuances of the characters and the setting. Lee Child's novels often place a heavy emphasis on atmosphere, whether it's the dusty backroads of small-town America or the seedy underbelly of a forgotten city. The characters, too, are richly developed, with a wide array of motivations and backstories that drive the narrative forward. These elements could easily be lost in a more hurried adaptation, but Amazon's approach allows them to be savored. Each season will allow viewers to fully understand Reacher's relationships with the people he encounters, the moral dilemmas he faces, and the decisions he makes. The impacts of casting. A key aspect of Reacher's success is undoubtedly the casting of Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher. Reacher is an iconic character in modern literature, known for his imposing size, physicality, and unique sense of justice. Previous attempts to bring the character to the screen, most notably in the Tom Cruise-led Jack Reacher films, were met with mixed reactions, largely because Cruise, though a talented actor, didn't physically match the description of Reacher from the books. Fans were quick to point out that Reacher is supposed to be a hulking figure, towering over everyone around him, and Cruise's shorter stature didn't quite align with that image. In contrast, Ritchson's casting was almost universally praised. At 6'2", and with a muscular build, he embodies the physicality of Reacher in a way that instantly resonated with fans. But beyond the physical resemblance, Ritchson also brings a quiet intensity to the role that mirrors Reacher's personality in the books, calm, methodical, and capable of explosive violence when necessary. His portrayal grounds the show, making Reacher feel like a real person rather than a caricature of an action hero. Room for growth. The one book per season format not only honors the source material, but also gives the show room to grow and develop over time. With over 25 Jack Reacher novels currently published, the potential for longevity is enormous. Each book offers a new setting, a new mystery, and new characters for Reacher to interact with, meaning that the show could continue for years without losing steam. As long as the writers and producers stay true to the spirit of the books, there's no reason why Reacher couldn't become one of the most enduring action series on television. Moreover, the episodic nature of the books allows for a kind of storytelling that isn't constrained by an overarching narrative. While many modern TV shows focus on long-running plot lines that span multiple seasons, Reacher can afford to be more self-contained. Each season will have its own mystery to solve, its own cast of supporting characters, and its own resolution. This format keeps things fresh, as viewers will never know exactly what to expect from one season to the next, aside from the fact that Reacher will inevitably find himself in another dangerous situation. Challenges ahead, of course. Adapting one book per season also comes with its challenges. For one, there's the risk of the show becoming formulaic. While each Reacher book has its own unique plot, there is a certain rhythm to the stories. Reacher arrives in a new town, gets drawn into a mystery, uncovers corruption, and dispenses justice in his own way.